Hi, I'm Karen. I'm from the Cullis Lab, and I'm the operational lead of the NanoCore facility. The facility is led by Dr. Peter Cullis as well as Dr. Christian Castrop, and we're here to help with your nanomedicine projects. So our mission is to first provide consultation for any nanoparticles that you would like to develop to encapsulate your cargo for your specific projects. Aside from the consultation aspect, we also develop the formulations as well as formulate them for you to enable in vitro screening as well as proof of concept animal studies that you would be performing in the lab. We also have standardized procedures for measuring the physical chemical characteristics of lipid nanoparticles, and we can provide benchmark materials for comparative studies. So more specifically, these are the services that we can provide to you. So first of all, we can provide formulation services. So as a rule of thumb, basically, if you have a cargo that you want us to encapsulate for you, you can give us that cargo and we can discuss how to encapsulate it, as well as to encapsulate it into different formulations for you to test. Usually we work with siRNA and mRNA the most. We also work with gapmers and plasmids. So typically nucleic acids are what we work with most often in our lab. But we have also projects where we encapsulate peptides and small molecule drugs. So based on your needs, we can custom design LNPs that would suit your purposes. We can design LNP libraries for you to screen to see which particles will have the best properties for encapsulating your cargo and to get the cargo into your cells of interest. So parameters that we can vary include the particle size, the particle surface charge, as well as we can vary the lipid composition in order to vary the circulation life as well. The batch size that we usually make are for laboratory experiments. So your microplate experiments for cell culture up to small animal experiments, typically mouse experiments. If you need larger batch sizes, we can also negotiate that and discuss whether or not it's possible for our facility. And if you ask us to encapsulate your cargo into lipid particles, then standard assays that we would perform to characterize them include the quantification of the lipid in these LNPs, the encapsulation efficiency, so what percentage of your cargo is entrapped in the LNPs, and a particle size profile using dynamic light scattering instruments. If we're also varying the surface charge of these particles, then we will also confirm that using state of potential measurements. If you need additional assays to be performed, we can discuss this as well. Another relatively popular service of ours is getting cryogenic transmission electron microscopy images of your particles to look at their morphology. So this service is provided through one of the facilities at the UBC Life Sciences Center where we are located. So very simply, you can just tell us that you want cryo images of your particles, send these particles to us. We'll tell you what concentration they need to be at and what volume you need to provide to us. And we'll coordinate everything with the facility and give you a link to images to download. If you need help with the image analysis, that can also be done. We can help you analyze your images if requested. And if you would like to formulate your own particles, you are free to use our facilities as well. The facilities are restricted access, but we can coordinate your access to our lab. We're located at the UBC Life Sciences Center, room 5420, and this is the Cullis Lab in LSC. Just give us a call, give us an email to coordinate when you would like to come, and we can coordinate that. The equipment that we have include the nano assembler systems from Precision Nano Systems. We have 2 machines, the Spark and the Ignite. So these process different batch sizes of the particles. We have liposome extruders and microfluidic pumps for LNP formulation if you would like to use those instead of the nano assembler systems. We also have dynamic light scattering instruments from Malvern for characterizing these particles. We also have other standard laboratory equipment. We can schedule a tour so you can look around and see what would be useful for your projects. And you can also order nucleic acids via the NanoCore IDT portal. So there's a partnership with IDT. And you can order these nucleic acids at a big discount. And this information is confidential until you are one of their customers. So just go to this link and make your account. We'll approve that account and you can use it to access the quotes for the nucleic acids that you're interested in ordering. Once you place your order, the nucleic acids will ship directly to NanoCore, where we can encapsulate the material directly into the lipid nanoparticles and ship it back to you. If you want us to ship it back to your lab without encapsulation, that can also be coordinated as well. We also provide support for grant applications. So if you would like to apply for grants for your nanomedicine projects that would use the NanoCore services, then we're happy to help you with your application, as well as to provide any letters of support that you would need. And so that's a summary of the services that we can provide for your nanomedicine projects. One thing that's come up multiple times in the past is what is the difference between NanoCore and Nanofascian Therapeutics, which is a commercial entity that spun off from the NanoCore. So the NanoCore is an academic institution. We're based at the UBC, and we're focused on helping with academic partners. We have had 3 industrial collaborations, but only providing services, so no R&D and no IP involved. Whereas Nanofascian is focused on industry, they do R&D projects and IP development. We have separate labs and separate offices and separate staff, so everything is separate between the 2 entities. So Dom and Jay, who were previously involved in NanoCore, currently working at Nanofascian, they're only here to help us during a transitional phase, as myself and Biffy are taking over the NanoCore. So there are no conflicts of interest between these 2 entities. We're completely separate. And here I'll provide my contact information as well as the contact information of Miffy Chang. So that's the email. You can just email us if you have any questions, anything that you would like our services for. And you can also call us at our lab phone. And that concludes my presentation. I would be happy to take any questions.
Great presentation. I just wanted to hear more about how you detect some of the kind of mRNA or siRNA cargo that you load. What are the detection mechanisms that you have access to?
Okay, usually we use a ribogreen assay and a picogreen assay for nucleic acids. And for peptide assays, we also have a fluoroscamine assay, which detects the primary amines of peptides. Depending on what cargo it is, we can design different assays for detection as well. Typically, to see the encapsulation, we would use Triton-X to lyse the particles and compare that with a no Triton-X so that we can see how much of the cargo is entrapped and how much is not.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another written question came in from Natalia Zisman, who wrote, "Hi, Karen. Are NanoCore proprietary lipids used in the formulation development?"
So usually we would just use whatever is available. So when you, so it depends, I guess, is the answer. Sometimes if you use MC3, for instance, that's one of the lipids that we might run into trouble later on. We can switch that to non-proprietary lipids. We can also switch that to other proprietary lipids from other companies where we are able to license the particles. So depending on your needs, we can switch between proprietary or non-proprietary lipids. And for proprietary lipids, we can license them from the companies that do hold the patent for them.
Thank you. There's another written question I'll read out from Anish Thakur, who asks, are these facilities available to labs outside the NMIN network?
Currently, there are labs outside of the network at UBC who are using our facilities. So it's not completely restricted to NMIN investigators.